Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining our webinar today. So for today, we have a very interesting topic. We're not going to talk about Microsoft Teams. We're not going to talk about Microsoft Teams features, but a very interesting topic, which is about the governance and how we can put in place proper control and policies to make sure that users are adopting the tools in hand and also securing the data and information. So we have planned for an hour. The session is 45 minutes, and we will leave towards the end 15 minutes for question and answers, as well as people who want to ask questions specific to their environment. So we are very lucky today to have presenters from Powell Software as well. So I'll just introduce them and then introduce myself. So we have Remy Provost. He is the VP of Middle East and Africa from Powell, who's gonna also share best practices and global best practices. Khalid Al-Badri, he is the head of the consulting department at Powell, also for Middle East and Africa, who will take us through the demo. Myself, I'm from Cloud4Work, and I'm the managing partner of the company, and happy to take you through the webinar today. So we have a packed agenda, but we will go quickly through some slides just to kind of set the scene, and then we will have a hands-on session from Khalid on the Powell Teams in action, and then we will conclude with a very special offer that Powell is offering today for webinar attendees. And I'm very excited to share this part as well with you. And then we'll conclude with the Q&A. So just briefly on who we are as Cloud4Work. I mean, we've been in this area for a good 5-6 years now. So organizations invest in Office 365, but they don't leverage its full potential. So that could be, there are so many things in Office 365. Team is one of them, other tools as well. It's very important to have a proper adoption program in place to leverage your investment. And this is what we specialize in as Cloud4Work. So what we believe in is change management. So whenever you introduce a new tool, there will be an impact, there will be a change. We need to make sure that we are managing the change properly. We want to make sure that we have organizations who invested in Office 365 and Teams have a good return on investment. So they are seeing the benefits. Users are using the tool, they are improving the way they are doing business, and so on. And what's important is that we follow a methodology which is based on ProSci, and it's the ADKAR model, where we go through the different cycle of the ADKAR: awareness, desire, knowledge, ability, and reinforcement. So we are really specialized in the adoption around Microsoft 365, and today we will share with you the best practices when it comes about governance, and how governance is also important when we drive adoption of Teams and Office 365. So what are the main challenges of Teams adoption? And this is from our experience, and this is from also global practices. So the first thing is the user resistance. So people resist to change. That could be lack of awareness. They don't know that the tools exist. They don't have the desire to change, so they are happy with the old system. They don't see what's in it for them to take on the new system, or they don't know how to use it, so they don't know how to use Teams, or they are using it, but really no one is recognizing their efforts. So there is a lack of recognition. The second aspect, and this is also very important, how Teams is deployed at your organization. So we see organizations who are very flexible, and they are, users have access easily to Teams. Others, they put a lot of locks, a lot of controls, and accessing the app is difficult. They remove a lot of options, so users don't see benefits in using Teams. And this is really, again, one of the main challenge of Teams adoption. Now, today's focus is the last point on the slide on the right, is basically having a proper governance in place. So all these three columns are equally important to drive adoption, and we will focus on the column on the right. So What is a governance? Is basically having a set of policies, control that are good enough for security, to secure your data and information, but at the same time giving flexibility and a little bit of freedom for the users to start to use the tools the way they want. So it's about having a proper balance between setting really tight controls and relaxing the policies. So we need to make sure we have this in place. We also want to make sure that we have we're securing the organization data. So we're not opening up with all these new tools, working from home, flexibility to connect from any device. We are jeopardizing the security policies of the organization. And of course, we want to make sure that we have a standardized way of using team across the organization. So having a proper governance in place is really becoming very important. And depending on where you are in your journey, so for some users, for some organizations, they've been using Teams for 2-3 years, and they recognize the challenges. They would recognize the challenges immediately. Too many teams, too many chaotic environment, and so on. For the new users that are maybe today, with the wave that we have seen in the past few months, uh, we can share with you best practices, what could potentially happen with you if you don't have a proper governance in place. So what we're going to talk about today, and we're going to see in the demo, is a very interesting solution from Powell. It's called Powell Teams, and it's a governance tool where we will, we'll create templates, we have an approval request, we have recommendation on what teams to use, and so on. And we will see that in the demo. But what's important for me, and as adoption specialist, is to highlight for you what are the challenges, solutions, and the benefits that you see. And I have maybe picked the top. We have top 6 challenges, and we will just share them with you. So number one, which is, I'm sure you have seen it, if you open up creation of teams to anyone in the organization, teams start to mushroom. So users start creating the teams as they need. They don't really check if it's already existing, and they keep on creating new ones. So that is a challenge. But with Teams now, with Power Teams, we can now have approval, a workflow where I need a team. I don't just create it. I need to set it. I need to request for it. There's someone, and I need to just put a little bit of justification and so on. Someone approves it, and then it is activated. So the benefits, we have better control on the growth of the teams. We don't end up with 50, 100 teams. We don't know which one to use for what. I need to share a document where to put it, and so on. So we have a control on this side. We reduce the number of unused teams. Again, when you start using teams, you will end up with a lot of unused teams, and with this process, you reduce that unused team. And we have a better quality, of course, of the team content. We know which one to use for what and which documents to use for what. The second really challenge, very common challenge, is the naming convention. So people users are creating the same teams. It's called project, training 1, training 2. So the naming convention, or they have a sale, is very important, and we need to have it properly in place. There are solutions from Microsoft, but with the Azure Premium, but they are very expensive. So this also is one of the main added value or advantage of using Power Teams, is you can set a proper naming convention. So if it's you want to put the product name, the project name, you want to put the geographical code of the team working on it, and so on. So you can set up a proper convention, naming convention. So that makes it very easy to find teams. Okay. Also, it makes it very easy to understand the goal of the team. So this team is for that purpose, this team is for another purpose, and we start promoting consistency across the teams. So we have a consistent naming convention across the entire organization. Another challenge that we have here as well is people start using Teams for personal file sharing. So they are creating teams. They are creating teams for themselves. So they are consuming the team's storage capacity. They are mixing between OneDrive and Teams and so on. So that becomes very a challenge again after some time of using Teams. So we need to make sure that when we create a team, we are defining some settings. So we say every team should have minimum of 2 owners. The team lead should be part of a team if it's related to sales forecast. If the team is about a project, the project manager should be on the team. So we start kind of setting up who should be as minimum required on this team to avoid having those teams that are created for personal use. So we have again a better control on the team growth. We have less unused teams and less unmanaged teams. Unmanaged teams means it's a team where you have one person and the only owner, and he or she is using it for different purposes, personal files and so on. So that's very important. Now, when after some time you have a lot of teams, so it becomes difficult to navigate. So we need to here have a proper search functionality. I need to know that I want to see all the teams that are per location, per department, even per language, per market. So I'll be able to tag the teams and start organizing my teams instead of being listed in alphabetical order, or instead of being pinned or used unused, but I can start having a structure of the teams, which will save you and the users a lot of time to find the team and focus on the right team instead of going around in different teams. Two more. So here we have again the challenge of when we create a team and we are a little bit advanced, let's say, so we put the proper channels, we add tabs, we have settings that we like, that we have a certain group of people that we have added to the team. Now we have another project which is very similar, so it could be another RFP, could be another project. I don't need to recreate that from scratch. I will just use a template and create the second team exactly as I want from my previous one. So I'll be able to clone the team and make sure that I avoid rebuilding it and redoing it from scratch every time. Finally, as a new employee, you join again. You are added to so many teams, and then you don't know which one is important, which one is highly used, what is the frequency of this team. So you can also, as administrator, promote the team. So these are the most interesting teams for you. I can also, using AI, it will pop up to say these are the most active teams. Start discover, and the new employees can start discovering the team, which will accelerate the onboarding process. So I wanted to share with you, the challenges. We see them with organizations, small, medium, large. They all have the same challenges. You can ask people around you who've been using it for a couple of years. And we also encourage new users, let's say a few months ago, users to start thinking about those challenges before it gets out of hand. So those were challenges that we identified in working in our region, in the UAE, in the Gulf. Now what we will do is I want to pass it on to Remy. So Remy from Powell Software. So he has also his a global view of the same challenge that they see in the US, in Europe. That also, and I encourage you that we all learn from those experiences and see how we can apply them in our organization. So Remy, I'll pass it on to you. And
thank you very much, Azat. I hope you can hear me well. I am also based in Dubai. So I tried to summarize in one slide the feedback we got from our first customers. The product is a new one. It has been launched 3-4 months ago. So we don't have yet thousands and millions of customers, but very interesting first feedback, which I try to summarize in these two angles. In blue, horizontal, is the customer journey. And As you know, Microsoft Teams is a software, so it's supposed to answer to 80, 90% of the requests from the market. And I have to say they did well, but it's a big machine. It's a huge software. It's a huge platform, and we are not equal versus the way we use it. And so this is vertical is the practice which has been highlighted by Hezat, and that is for us and for our first customers, the good combination. You have the traction of a standard software, Powell Teams, and you have the way it is implemented, the way it is parametered, and the way at the end of the day where it is used by every single user of the company. And that's making the difference. So I would say as a summary, the first when we had requests for proposal or people starting to test and to adopt this technology, main request was, I want something simple to implement, and I want to see immediately some result. Immediately means 3 to 6 months. I cannot, after the amount of money I have invested in Microsoft, and sometimes I have a low usage. You will see in the next. We can go to the next one, please. Is that there is a strong combination of the way, yes, please, the software is interacting between, and this is a red square, employees and companies, how companies can help the employees to build their digital journey by Microsoft Teams. And there is also something new, which we haven't really discovered at the beginning, is the way the companies is interacting in his industry. And we have today around the table some people from finance, some from oil industry, some heavy industry, or some startups, and you all have your own rules. You do not manage your journey by the same environment. And this is something we need to take into consideration in the way it is implemented. So there is two kinds of customers. Next, please, Hezat. There is two kinds of customers. The one having already implemented Microsoft Teams, and we are coming after 6, 12, sometimes 3 years of usage. And we have seen some customers having decided to stop using Microsoft Teams. The chaos was too big. They started as something like 10, 15%, let's say, ROI, user adoption. And as the time was moving with the complexities, what was explained nicely by Hezat, they felt really bad and they said, okay, we need to redesign totally the project. Let's stop it and start it from now, because now there is a kind of, people don't want to use this technology because it's becoming too complex. It doesn't help them on the journey. And so you can see this curve of Microsoft Teams in some customers is moving from 10, 15 to 5, and sometimes 0. And that was not the goal. So by taking into consideration the customer journey, and next please is that, and you will see in the demo what are the different steps to define tags, next please, and finally to approve the processes, and for the end user to have dashboards for users and admin. That's the software journey. And we need to make it nice. The companies have to define and to provide a kind of guidance for the employees to use it. But ultimately, the one having reached this 50% adoption ratio, which is really booming the number of users comfortable to use, is when there is an industry practice coming on top. Next one, please. And that's about piloting. You know, if we are finance, you need to comply with some regulation. If you are in Europe, you need to comply with LGDP. So you cannot create teams with data from partners, from customers, whatever the project, without asking some authorization. And at the end of the day, this is a productivity. And what Powell Team is doing is very simple. It gives to end user something much more easy, and you will see in the demo, much more simple to use and to monitor what they are doing, and they can easily track back what they have done yesterday, the day before, the month before, the quarter before. And we are all get lost about Teams on that. In parallel, it gives to admin, to IT most of the time, the capacity to regulate, to pilot, to govern the way it is disseminated. And they can manage the time cycle of the dissemination, which is very important. At the end of the day, some of our first customers, and this is next please, and this will be my last comment, they finally reach the level where they have more than 30, 40, 50% adoption in a very short time frame. And this is what was expected by our first customers. And this is why we are seeing a kind of a nice demand and a marketing viral month to years dissemination of Powell Teams. And you will see later during this presentation, this is why we would like to invite you to test it and make your own mind. Of course, we are proud of what has been done, and we're happy to bundle this technology with the strong adoption practice given by Ezat and his team. And we do believe that the couple technology, which is attraction, and best practice, which is the finalization and the personalization, is the key element to make it a success. So this is a little of a summary from our first customers. We want to do more. We want to listen to you. We would be more than happy here in Middle East and Africa to implement this technology. And so maybe some difference from Europe and from the States. But the software is a software, and adoption practice is something we are all loving to do and to implement in our company. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, thank you, Remy. That was a great one-slider. So we'll move now. I think you all want to see what we're talking in action. So what I will do now, I'll pass it on to Khalid, and Khalid will take us through a demo, how seen by the end user, and also how are the admin controls on the same. So Khalid, I'm gonna pass it on to you.
Thank you, Azdat and Remy. Let me share my screen. Let me convert this. Yeah. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes.
Yeah, good. So like you see now, I'm using Microsoft Teams, the web version. Just because I'm using a demo account, but you can use as well the desktop version. Like you see now, it's Microsoft Teams, and this is my list of teams here. I have big list of teams listed here. So as I'm a user, so I can go here. I find my company that stop creating teams, stop me to creating teams. So our product, it's called Powell Teams. It's an app. It's available in the store. So you can find it and you can download it and you can find it in your app list. So like you see now, if I go to Powell Teams, I find the user dashboard. It's totally different experience. It's much more easier. So like you see here, I have my teams. It's like tiles, and this tiles give me some information about the team, like description, some latest file added to this team. So like you see here, I have in business development, I have 3 files with Megan. So if I click on Megan, for example, of any user, I can see the profile of Megan. Even I can email her or I can call her and I can see the profile from Delve about Megan. So in the left, you can find the refiner panel. So in the refiner panel, you can find here some tags. So instead of finding team with just search for it, you can refine the team by tags. Like here, I have department, location, products, project start date, company, and you can build more and more tags based on your business. It's not fixed. It's not you don't have any limitations. You can build whatever you need here in tags. For example, I need all legal teams. So and I can mix it between, like you see here, I have 4 legal teams. So I need the legal teams related to Hong Kong. So I can find here that I have 2 teams related to Hong Kong. I need sales team. So I can find here 3. I can find here the sales team. I don't have any sales team with UAE, but let us check if you have something related to Hong Kong. I find here 2 teams related to Hong Kong. So in few seconds, by refiners and tags, you can find and get your teams, and you can see the file inside the team. You can see the description, the logo, and so on. So our user dashboard, it simplify and organize the way to seeing the teams. Instead of seeing the big lists of teams, you can just have this refiner and tag to organize and find your teams. And you saw, I don't have access to create teams from normal way, but I have access to create teams from from Powell Teams. Because of what? Because my company give me the ability creating teams from the template. So the template, it's give the company the ability to add the rules and add the best practices when I created the team. So like you see now, I have here list of template available for me from my company. So I have business development, HR, IT, legal, marketing, project, and sales. And you can create more and more. You can search for your team. You can order your team as well. So for today's meeting, I just create and I will create a new sales team. So like you see now, I will create a sales team. So after I'm selecting my template that I will build my team from, it will go here to ask me, please fill the tags related to this team. So I can have here list of department as a tag. So it's sales, location, it's related to UAE, product, it's related to Powell. So like you see here, I have this 3 tags. Now the team name, it's like the name, it's support. So like you see here, I have the team name, it's support, and I have the tags. But actually, the team name will be created like sales, Powell, and support. So as part of this template, we put the best practices for the team naming. So here we have the naming convention. It's combination between the department and product and the team name. So you can here mix and match between the department tags and team names and text and incremental numbers to build your own naming convention for your teams. So after I done here, I can find here that the support, it's already available. You cannot create a team with the same combination. So I need to change it. For example, here I name it support 2, for example. So here I can define that I have here the team is already exists. So I change the name. So here by default, I have this team, it's sales and it's internal. So I made it private by default. So you part of the template, you can define this team, it's private by default or public by default, or let the user choose. But here to push, it's for sale, so it's internal use only. So I make it private. No one can join until I join them. As a best practices that I have here the minimum number of owners and members. Like you see here, I have minimum number owners, it must be 3. And the minimum number of members are 2. So, and also we have a best practices that we have a default owners and members. Like you see here, Megan and Lee, they are the default owners of the team. So the best practices for this feature. So like I make now the sales team, and Lee it's the sales director. So it's part of the sales team by default, and Megan is the creator. Okay. So, and also the best practice for the minimum number of owners and members, that you prevent the user to create a team for just sharing a file, or create a team with only one owner. So when they leave the company, they will leave this will leave these teams without any owner to manage them. So you need an IT control to this team. So to allow to make me go to next step and create the team, I need to fill the minimum requirements. So let me select here the user. So I will select more owners here. So when I select the minimum number of members and owner, I can now move on to my last step. My last step is very easy, that I need to review and validate my team creation. So like you see here, the team image, team name, privacy, owners and members. Like you see here, I have full details about my team, and I can create the team. Actually, what happened, I cannot create the team because this team must be sent to approval before the creation. So as I'm an admin, so I can go back to my team list, and here when I have any pending approval as an admin, I can see here waiting for approval. So when I click this tab, I can see here that I have a pending team approval. So I edit it. I can see here the list, the information about this team, who created, the name, the template, the privacy, and the tags, and the owner of an owner and member of this team. So I can decline and inform the user, and I can accept it and create the team. So I was not able to create the team from my normal way, but I can create team with this governance feature by Powell Team. It's taking few seconds to create the team, and it's gone from my awaiting for approval, and it will be available in my team list. So if I select search for sales, I have here the team created. So actually, what happened behind the scenes? So if I go to admin, let me tell you what happened actually in behind scenes. So like you see here, I am the admin. I can see the list of the template available. Some of them are disabled, like finance, and this is my team sales template. Actually, what happened behind the scene that when I create the new team, I copied all the channels, all the application, all the settings. Even I can copy the member and tab from my base template. I have this template called business development, and when I create the new team, okay, I copied all of this. Let's see together what's happened. If I go back to the teams, like you see here, this is a business development. I have 4 channels: general knowledge, share, opportunities, pipeline. And this is the new team I just created, sales, Powell, support 2. And I have here the same channels, even the same tab. Everything it's duplicate, but with the new version of the team. So what else in behind scene? For my template, I can just manage the governance. So I can manage the naming convention of my team. Like you see here, this is the naming convention. Okay, so my naming convention, like you see, department, product, and user. You can build more and more naming convention based on your need. Approval, I can select here this template need approval when I create team from. So I can select more user as approvers. So Lee or Megan can be part of this. So any one of them can approve the team creation. Privacy, like you see, private, it's private by default, but it's you make it public by default, or let the user choose when you create the team. One of the great feature we have is you can make this template available for certain users. So for example, I can specify that the users the salespeople can only see this template, or the salespeople and the manager. So you can combine profiles. So the template can be, they can use this template only the salespeople and the managers. Also the tags, like you see here, I have 3 tags associated with my template. Some of them is coming from the naming convention, and you can add more tags. For example, I can add companies, and drop down lists, and I can make some of these tags as mandatory or the default values. I can do this. I can set the minimum number of owners and members. Like you see here, this is the team owners and team members. I have here 3 owners and 3 members. And one of the great feature, it's expire date. For example, if I have a campaign for 2 months, so I can just set this team for expiry date after 60 days. So after 60 days, this team will be expired. So the admin need to review the users of this team, if the people still using it, or it's expired, no one using it anymore. And last step, it's to define the default members. Like you see here, I have Lee as a default owner, and I can set also default member. So after I'm done with my changes, I can just save my template. And now the update is it's already, if the team template will be updated. I can change here also the logo of my sales template. So also you can manage your team, so you can see all the team available, and you can check here. Here you can manage all the team available, and you can manage all the pending approval. Also, you can see the expired team, so you can reactivate them as an admin, or you check which team is expired, and you can just delete them if you wish. So like you see here, this is all my teams. See here the detail about my teams. Like you see here, Contoso doesn't have any template, and there is 5 owners and 26 members. There is no guest business development private template as well. There is no template and team owners and members. So you can see which template it's used in which team, and also you can apply a template on a team. So like you see here, I have business development. I don't. It's doesn't have. This is a general information, description, private, and I can archive the team. So if you wish, you can archive any team. So you revoke the access from all user, and you make it archive. And you can see the members. Like you see here, Megan, it's a member, and this is all the owner. You can remove owners, and you can manage the team from here. You can see the channels. For now, you can only see it, but in future, we'll give you more abilities to create more channels from here. And last step is to apply a template to my team. So because this team doesn't have any template, so I can apply the template. So I can apply the sales template on my team. So like you see here, I have the team. So I can have it. This is a team name. I can change it. I can archive the team if I wish. I can import the channels. So I can import the channels from the template to my team. When I apply the tags here, it's related to sales, location, it's UAE, products, Powell, okay, company, I just add it, so I can have here the company. If you see here, I will update my team name. Instead of be business development, I will update the team name to be sales Powell business development. So you update and put for your existing team the best practices you did in the template. And you can save the change, and it's done. Yeah, this is like a high-level overview about the team, and back to you, Remy.
Okay, thank you, Khaled. Now I will just go back to the presentation. So I mean, clearly the tool is born from pains of people. So happy to see all this put in a tool. So now we're gonna keep going with the presentation. So there is really a special offer that Powell wants to share with you, and I will leave it to Remy just to talk about it, and then we will close with the next actions. So Remy, it's yours.
Yes, thank you with that. So during this 30 minutes, we have been discussing a lot about adoption, and this is a concept we truly believe we should also apply to us, software vendor. So we are a Microsoft Gold partner, we are IPCOSEL, and this solution has been designed with 2 groups. Customers bringing us a lot of feedback on what difficulties we are facing about Microsoft Teams and Microsoft itself. So we have been in line and discussing with the guys in Redmond, because Microsoft has no plan to do this kind of software. They are focusing on the big platform, and you may know that they are going to push a lot of partners starting from next fiscal year for them to create this team as a platform concept. So we are really in this story with Microsoft. Adoption is key for you. Adoption is also key for us. So we would like you to test the solution. We would love to get your feedback. So the offer we have designed with Hezat from Cloud for Work, dedicated exactly for Hezat customers, is two things. First, if you are willing to test the solution, you can go to the Teams App Store, you can download Powell Teams, you can validate that it is now interacting with your Microsoft Teams, and you are done. And you will be having the product for free for 1 month, 1 full month. And of course, the consultant from Cloud for Works are going to help you, to support you, to answer any questions, and maybe we can start a pilot in some of your users. Most of the times, IT are driving this testing period because it's key for them to see whether this product or not will help them to have a better return on adoption. Then, because we believe also that the first customers are very important for us, the first 5,000 licenses, which are going to be downloaded from this summer, will be for free for 1 year. So just to let you know that we are willing to open with you a long-term relation where the business we're going to do now is not the key features for us. For us is how that's helped you to grow your interaction with Microsoft Teams. And we are willing to be looking at an ecosystem between you as a customer, having needs, Microsoft, software vendor, Powell, also software vendor, but in the niche, an app on top of Microsoft Teams, and of course, the consulting company like Cloud for Work, which is going to make it happen. And again, I mentioned that the first 5,000 customers are for free because we do believe that's going to make the success. So happy to make the test with you. We are keeping available for any question you may have, and we wish you a very good day.
Okay, great. So thank you, Remy. I mean, of course, we are here to support all our clients. So we will share with them our contacts and follow up and so on. What I will want to conclude or to have basically a kind of an action plan. These are the steps that would explain, you know, how to get to what Remy is talking about. So of course, you go to Teams. So when you click on the App Store, you will see a catalog of all the apps. So then you search for Powell Teams. You found the team, you found the app, and then it will ask you, there will be click to open. Then there you fill in your information. So information will be required, and that will activate your 30 days free trial. So what is very simple, very straightforward. Might need, you know, maybe someone from IT to help you. We are also here to help you, so you can contact us to have an online session, take you through the process, help you install the app, and also start, you know, configuring a few things for you so that you know how to use it. We also will provide you with knowledge transfer for the admin on how to use the tool. And we are also, planning to have workshops for the end users as well on how to consume, how to use the tool from an end user perspective. So very simple steps to activate the app, and of course we are here to support you. So with that, we reach the Q&A. So we have like 10 minutes left to the hour. We have the chat, so the question and answer questions would be you can just enter them in the chat box, and we will try to take them now. And of course, I mean, at any point later, we can also take your questions.
We have a question here. Can we modify an already made team? Yeah, you can do this. So you can manage all your team and you can apply the template on the team. So based on your best practice, you can just change the naming convention. You can just make the tags, apply tags, and import channels from the template.
Okay, thank you, Khalid.
One more question. Where the data are saved, Powell doesn't read any of your information. All your information it's in your tenant, so we don't read anything from your information. All your information it's in your tenant.
There is a question, someone asking the licensing model, is it per user or per tenant? The answer, it's per user. So there is a price, a subscription fees per month per user. And then there is a discount table based on quantity, but it's yes per user. So you can start with a group and then extend it to your all companies. It's possible.
There is a question also, can we restore a deleted expired team? You can restore the expired team. Deleted team, it's need a tenant, team tenant admin. You can restore it from team admin center. But for expired, you can reactivate the team. No issues from Powell team direct. Don't need to go to admin center to do it. And by the way, the Powell admins, it can be normal user. It doesn't need to be an tenant admin, a team tenant admin to do some jobs. Just a normal user can or business user can do this some admin stuff in Powell Teams.
I think the question regarding the previous teams, can we change it, the one existing, is something interesting. As I mentioned, among our first customers, some of them decided to go scratch. We purchased Microsoft Teams, and sometimes when they purchased Microsoft, they also purchased Powell Teams because there was a kind of bundle which was proposed by the partner. And they started immediately not by using Microsoft Teams creation, but Powell Teams. And they have, so it's difficult to compare because they started from scratch. Some other customers have had already a first experience with Microsoft Teams, and then they implement Powell Teams. They immediately see the value, but the time they have to switch the user from one model to another model was important. So this is why the product has been moved. As an example, initially you could decide to you could create teams from both model, Microsoft and Powell. And most of our customers, having switched, has told us, no, if we switch to Powell Teams, we want to use only Powell Teams. So please deactivate the Microsoft Teams creation model, and we will be using only yours because this is the value of having selected your solution. So as you can see, we are moving ahead with our customers, listening a lot, and we have a group of pilot customers which are bringing us a lot of useful remarks.
Also, I need to, Remy, I need to add that I have question here regarding reporting and dashboard. Soon, as part of our roadmap, soon we'll have a reporting and admin reporting dashboard. So from it, you can just see the some information about your tenant, like how many teams created, how many templates available, what teams are created from each template, and the teams have access or a team provide access to external user and so on. So a lot of features will come soon to admins to give more information. But like you saw in our demo and our product, we give you the abilities to manage the put the governance in place in your team in your Microsoft Teams.
I think there's a question for you, Khaled. Hi, you mentioned that it is possible to set the minimum numbers of owners and members, but what if someone happened with a team, if someone leaves and the number is below the minimum?
For now, we actually in our roadmap we work on this issue, but for now you can manage the we work on it as team because we same owners and members. We work on it and we will provide a solution soon to our product for this feature.
Okay, I think thank you for taking all the questions, Khaled and Remy. I don't see any other questions, so I'm just going to ask if you want to ask more questions, just use the question tab or the chat tab. Maybe we can wait a couple of minutes, just like 1 or 2 minutes, and then we'll close the session. So we'll wait for any question coming for the next minute or two.
Question about how you can disable the team creation. You can do this. You can there is a script, so you can use a small script that you can stop team creation, and it will be allowed only from Powell Teams. So it's Microsoft way to do it. There is no like a way to do it except this script. So to allow only some users to create teams from normal way or from scratch, and all other users can create teams from Powell Teams.
Okay, so I think with that, again, thank you, Remy and Khaled, for joining us today. Very good insights, and the promotion is exciting. And I mean, we are here to support you. We will be sharing with you the summary and the slides for your reference. Maybe you want to share them with your colleagues. Maybe you want to share them with someone working in the security governance aspect in your organization. And with that, so thank you so much for attending, and have a good day.